So then you should do a heart stop and say, okay, Jack, what would make a TCA living mammal get oxygen toxic? Well, I'll give you the first one that everybody knows about. 1971, we sent, astronauts up to the moon. They got in the space capsule. We used 100% oxygen in their capsule, and they all died when they got a spark. Turns out that oxygen at really, really high concentrations is really bad. Now I'll give you number two that you may not know because you're not a doctor. Any doctor knows about this disease called ARDS. It's called acute respiratory distress syndrome. That's what most people died from in COVID. So when we give people with ARDS endotracheal tube and we deliver an FiO2, which is oxygen at a higher level, why do doctors do that? Because they use a pulse ox to see what your oxygen level is. They're taught what the biochemist tells them, that if your sat rate goes down, you need to give people more oxygen because we are TCA mammals. What the doctors don't know is that you have this little switch in you that Nick and I were talking about, that nitric oxide story. And it turns out that the pulse ox, okay, everybody who's a doctor now, and this is for you too, Nick, you think that the pulse ox is accurate to what's going on at the mitochondrial level. I'm here to tell you that the story that I've already laid out for you, that's not true. You know why? Methemoglobinemia is not picked up by the pulse ox. In fact, in critical care medicine, you have to have a special pulse ox to pick up this. Why? Because you can be fooled. And it turns out that ARDS, when you don't know this and you give somebody high oxygen level, you actually destroy every organ in their body. Why? Because of the mechanism I just told Nick. The electric current gets out, the bolt of electricity follows the path of least resistance in the body, and it goes and destroys other organs. All because the doctors are not taught, because the biochemists don't know the story about nitric oxide and oxygen being quantized and being paramagnetic. And it turns out when you know this story and you're a neurosurgeon who decides to go back in 4 years ago to start taking care of all these people that are getting told they're going to die, and magically, I know how to fix this problem because I know about the paramagnetism of methemoglobinemia, and I know how to flip the switch using a paramagnetic drug. Guess what magically happens? FiO2s come down. We can get people off their dopamine drips. We can get them back. The family gets told that they're going to die, and next thing you know, they're walking out of the ICU in 24 to 48 hours.
What is the paramagnetic drug?
Methylene blue, my friend. I already told you that.